isn't it true that one of the substantial reasons maybe for having such a requirement is to create a political litmus test or an enemies and friends list for people that wish to do business with the federal government?
Or a fundraising list.
And wouldn't it also be of concern, or it is of concern to me, I want to know if it's of concern to you, that based on the President's prior statements in regard in another context, that Republicans would have to take a back seat in the bus, that if you were a contractor doing business with the federal government who might have a political leaning towards the Republican side, that they would want to use that as an attempt to say that if you're going to play ball with us, you either have to give us or give our friends money, or you have to stop giving money to the people you philosophically agree with?
Yes, I think the memorandum, if implemented, would codify corruption into the federal contracting process.
And if the President wants to issue an executive order taking an action which previously was considered and rejected by Congress, and frankly I think would be terrible policy, doesn't that call for a higher level of openness and public feedback than a regular executive order, and that this should be out there in full disclosure and everybody who's advised him on it ought to be known, and in fact there ought to be a great deal of hearing on this, should there not?
I think this needs to be thoroughly debated and vetted by our elected officials, both obviously the President and administration and here in Congress. It not only impacts the federal contracting process, but I also think it impacts the First Amendment rights of third-party innocent groups.
And so you think it could lead, even if unintended, it could lead to retaliation or harassment of companies or third-party groups or other political groups?
Well, frankly, I think that's the intent of the disclosure requirements.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't disagree with you. I don't think there's any other way you could interpret it. And so you believe it would chill political speech amongst all the contractors?
Or guarantee certain political speech in terms of contributions to the party in power or the party running the administration making the contracting decision.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me if a Republican administration left this in if President Obama, because the Republican Party would benefit because they'd be doling out the contracts.
Yeah.
This,
I mean, it's just
this would
bad
be a
government.
terrible precedent.
It's bad precedent and bad government. And it's, did you find it curious that unions were left out of the executive order?
I found it not surprising.
Did you find it not surprising but troubling?
Of course it's troubling. The unions are well known to be supportive of the President's political campaigns, and if they're not subject to the same types of disclosures that those perceived to be opposed to his political campaigns, it's troubling.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that and appreciate your testimony. Ms. Wiseman, I have to tell you, I think you did a nice job today, and that you were very fair in your comments. I might not have completely agreed with you on some of the things philosophically, but I thought that you did a very nice job, and appreciate all three of you being here today. Thank you very much. I yield back my time, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman yields back his time. I think we'll do a